Alright, this is numbers 22, 23, and 24 of the decimal practice for the final. And this division here, this 10.22 over 9 is division because the fraction line means divide. And you're going to round the answer to the nearest thousandths. I have the steps here for dividing decimals. The divisor is on the bottom, the dividend is on the top, which means we're going to divide this way. 10.22 the dividend. Okay, move the decimal on the divisor to the right until it is a whole number. The divisor is already a whole number, so we can skip that step. Move the decimal in the dividend the same number of places. Well, we can skip that step also because we didn't move this decimal. Now, line up the decimal between the dividend and the quotient. So that just merely means stick the dot there. And now you can divide. 9 into 10 goes 1 times 9. It's 9. 10 minus 9 is 1. And it's just like normal. Ignore that decimal point sitting there. We'll just bring down the 2. 9 into 12 goes 1. And bring that down. 12 minus 9 is 3. And let's bring down the 2. And that would be 9 into 32 is, 9 times 4 is 36. So 9 times 3 is 27. So we'll go in 3 times. 12 minus 7, because I've turned that to a 12. We're borrowing, and that becomes a 2. And that's 5. 9 into 5, and what you do here is you add zeros so you can keep bringing numbers down until you're done dividing. So 9 into 50 goes 5 times, and that's 45. And then we subtract, we get 5. We can do it again, bring down the 0. And we will keep getting 50 until forever. So this has a repeating 5 as a decimal. So our answer, before we round to the nearest thousandth, is 1.13. And I'm just copying this quotient down. 5, and because this 5 is repeating, we put the repeating sign over it, which is a line. But they want it rounded to the nearest thousandths. So this is the ones place, this is the 1/10ths place, this is the 1/100ths place, this is the 1/1000th place. There's that place. So when they say round to that, well, it's a repeating 5, so we have to say, okay, there's just this 5 going on forever. But we still follow the rules. We look to the right of the place, and if it's a 5 or higher, we raise it. So the rounded answer becomes 1.136 without the bar, because the 6 does not repeat. It is rounded. Okay, so then number 23, let's circle that answer. Number 23, we have order of operations. Remember our PEMDAS, which is, are there parentheses? No. Are there exponents or square roots? Yes, so we do that first. Just so happens that exponents are multiplication, and that also comes before subtraction or addition. So when you multiply 1.5 by itself, and let's just cheat for the purposes of saving the space. 1.5 times 1.5 equals 2.25. So let's go through that multiplication. 1.5, we know what our answer is going to be. Let's look at it. All it is you ignore, literally ignore these decimals. You don't have to line them up. In this case, they already line up. But you multiply as normal, and you decide where the decimal for the answer goes at the end. 5 times 5 is 25. Carry your 2. 5 times 1 is 5, plus 2 is 7. 5 times 1 is 5. 1 times 1 is 1. So we add that. and we get 2 carry 1 to 25. Well, how do we get 2.25? Because the decimal place, this number has 1 decimal place, this number has 1 decimal place. So we add them together, 1, 2, which means we move the decimal 2 places over to give us 2.25. Okay, so now let's bring down the rest of this problem so that we have 4.6. So the next line across, if we're looking at it as line 1 up here, and then this is line 2, it's subtraction and addition. Well, those happen at the same time, so then we have to say we go from right to left. So we do this 4.6 minus 0.79 first. And in order to do that, we have to line up the decimals. So 4.6, and we add a 0 for a place value, and then we subtract 10 minus. We have 3.81. Now we bring down the rest of our problem over here. Little tail end over here. We'll bring it all down. 3.81. Remember, with addition, we line up the decimals. So I'm going to just do that. We have 6. A plus 2 is 0 is 10. 5 and 6.06 for our answer to number 23. Okay, now number 24, I'm going to make some room. Alright, so our PEMDAS is order of operations, they're parentheses. No. Are there exponents or square roots? No. Are there multiplication or division? Yes. There is multiplication and division. We're going to do division here, because we don't do subtraction before division. Alright, remembering that the divisor is on the right, then we set up our problem as, I'm going to do something over here quickly, 1.8. So we're going to follow our division steps, and we're going to use them all this time. So move the decimal on the divisor to the right until it is a whole number. So we move it over to make it 13. And then we move the decimal in the dividend the same number of places. You only move it once because you have to move it the same number of places. So that gives us our new problem of 13, the whole number 13, divided into 36.4. 13 into 36.4 because we moved that decimal 1 place to the right. So now we, last step, line up the decimal between the dividend and the quotient. We just go ahead and line that up, and then we divide. So 13 into 36 goes, let's bring up our handy dandy calculator. Let's see, 13 times 3 equals 39. So it has to be 13 times 2, 26. So we're going to do 2 times 13 is 26. Subtract 6 minus 6 is 0. 3 minus 2 is 1. And then we're going to bring down 4. And that is going to be 13 into 104. So that goes, I believe, 8 times. 13 times 8 equals 104. Okay. So 8 times 13 is 104. So we got a nice even number there. So that is our division that we did, and we got an answer of 2.8. This problem has an issue, which is that you have to subtract a smaller number from a larger number to get negative 0.8, but we are not learning negatives. So this problem shouldn't be in this practice. So don't worry, nobody's going to ask you to find a negative value.